This is Chaos Theory
and Cosmic Chisme,
where we put the chaos into theory and spill the tea about the connections between us, nature, and everything in between.
So join us in unraveling the cosmic secrets and coincidences we just couldn't ignore.
Season's greetings, Cosmic Chismosos. It's your host, Kaylene, and it's just Kaylene today. Ashley is not joining us. She is taking some time to focus on the first trimester of her pregnancy. Congratulations. We're all so excited. So you're stuck with me. So first and foremost, let me just give you a little rundown. Let me just get you all caught up with what's been going on. It's been a while since we've last posted, and we kind of left y'all hanging with a little short announcement episode. It was less than 20 minutes long, so this is a little bit more for you. I just got back from Costa Rica. It was my first ever international trip, so I'm very thrilled to be able to cross that off of my list. It's off my bucket list, and now the world is my oyster. But I can't express enough how amazing Costa Rica was. I had a week-long excursion. My friend Naomi, shout out Naomi, she's an avid listener, friend of the pod, real fan, real one. She did not let me have a day of not doing anything. She made sure that every single day was adventure. And that is my kind of trip. And I will be honest, it took me a minute to be able to catch up with her because, I just say maybe it's my age. I don't know, but it's just getting a little harder to keep up. But, I was running on about 6 hours of sleep a night. Not a whole lot of water, I'll say. The water is a little, it's not the best over there. But I drank a lot of juice. I had a good breakfast every morning. And I ate great. I had so much food. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. Because I've been on a health and wellness journey now for nearly 10 years. I think most women have had their fair share of sort of health and wellness journeys of trying to lose weight, trying to figure out what the diets, we're all chasing trends, trying to figure it all out. And I'll say this time around, all I did, and I've been taking solid core classes for almost a year now, and I work on my feet. I'm clocking about 10,000 steps a day. I eat relatively clean. Most of my meals are pretty balanced, I'd say. Try to do mostly vegetables and protein, but yeah, I do a sweet treat here and there, maybe once a day. Either way, I think I do pretty good for myself. I try to drink lots of water. But when I was down there, let me tell you, I was clocking at around 18,000 steps a day. I was eating 3 meals a day, roughly. And I had eggs in the morning. I had rice, beans, and protein for most of the other meals. And let me tell you, I am down a pant size. It's been a week. And I feel great. But I did come home to some very harsh winter weather. It was snowing. It was down in the low teens at night. Not fun for when you just come back from a tropical paradise. But going back to like that week, so I was running experiments as I do. And one of the things that I decided not to do was I decided I wasn't going to wear sunglasses. And I know you're probably all thinking like, why? Well, I'm trying things out because, okay, so like Huberman Lab, the Andrew Huberman podcast, he talked about how like one of the best things for you is sun exposure first thing in the morning. He was like, don't wear sunglasses, like don't, see it through a window, like you have to see sunlight in your face. And we are not suggesting you stare at the sun, people. We are not staring at the sun. But let that sunlight hit your eyes because that kickstarts your brain's ability to start releasing like vitamin D in your body and creating melanin and like all this stuff. So I was like, you know what? I bet you I'm not going to barely have to wear any sunscreen this week and I'm going to not wear my sunglasses. I was like, I'm going to let my body create melanin for me. Also, not only that, at the very least, I wanted to get like enough sunlight in my face to like really gear up because I knew I was going to be coming back home for winter. And I'm trying to ride out this warm weather as much as possible and all of the sunlight as much as possible because I am not ready for this cold, dark, dreary winter weather. I'm just not. So I had a full week of like fully taking care of myself, got plenty of sunlight, was warm, was getting 18,000 steps a day. I was eating right. Did I say that already? Probably did. Spent time with a friend, and just did amazing things. Did all the things that I love to do. We did hiking. We did wildlife watching. And to top it all off, I ended the trip with seeing Bad Bunny. And if y'all have heard our second episode, the sounds and rhythms of Puerto Rico, you'll know Bad Bunny is important. He's important to the pod, important to Puerto Rico, and important to some of the things that we've been doing on this podcast. So that was full circle for me. I will get into Costa Rica at some point on a later episode and talk more about it because, man, are they living how ideally I think I would love to live. So having said all that, here we are. Let's see here. It is 37 degrees outside. It has snowed twice since I've been back. And I'm cold and I don't like this. I just don't. So naturally, I wanted to put out this episode since it's just me today. I wanted to put out this episode to talk about how are we going to combat winter. The Northern Hemisphere is all shared in this experience. We are diving right in. It is only December 10th. We're not even fully in the calendar like time frame of winter. Like the winter solstice hasn't even officially started, but man, it has started. Everything is starting a lot earlier this year. Fall started earlier. Winter started hell of a lot earlier. So at this point, I'm just kind of like, what is going on? I don't know. So winter's here, and I'm desperately trying to find ways to adapt, combat, all that. And the first thing I go to is, how does nature deal with this cold weather? First, trees. Trees adapt. Deciduous trees will shed their leaves and they'll start to slow down, and they'll start building up a tolerance as that cold weather starts to settle in, and they'll slowly go dormant. Coniferous trees, they just have a built-up tolerance and tenacity for colder weather. So, but I read that under particularly harder conditions, that some trees, if not given enough time to adjust and adapt, they just explode. And I feel like we're all trying to just not explode. Other ways that nature adapts to the cold weather is through color changes. We've got Arctic hares and Arctic foxes changing colors, and we've got deer. They start to blend in with their surroundings. And that's always interesting to me. Like, I'm like, they get a little fluffier and they start to blend in with like the bare trees rather than with like all of the summertime vegetation. Birds migrating, they're flying south. They're saying, peace out, I'm out of here, I'm not doing it. I did that, but I could only afford to leave for a week. And then there's hibernation, the one that I think we all secretly want to do. And is it a secret? I don't even know. But hibernation, bears, chipmunks, marmots, groundhogs, mice, skunks, squirrels, frogs, box turtles, bats, prairie dogs, raccoons. Everybody is hibernating. And basically what hibernation is when you slow down your metabolism, they slow down your heart rate and your body temperature to conserve energy. You eat up a bunch of food beforehand, much like we did at Thanksgiving, and we just try to make it through the winter. And now here's a little misconception that maybe that you all didn't know, is that hibernation for these animals doesn't mean that they are sleeping nonstop until spring. It just means that they are sleeping for great lengths of time. Every so often you might see a bear pop up out of his den or her den and check things out, maybe scrounge around a little bit, maybe find a little more snacks. And then they are right back to hibernating. Now, how can we still maintain doing our adult activities, the things that we need to do, like pay bills, work, blah, blah, blah. Life doesn't end just because the weather gets colder, right? Maybe some of you all, the avid Pinteresters, have heard of the Danish tradition of Hygge. What is Hygge? Hygge is the Danish culture of coziness, contentment, and focused on creating a warm atmosphere and enjoying the simple pleasures with loved ones. It's not like specific activities, but basically it's a focus on togetherness, of being present, finding the simple pleasures, and focusing on well-being. And frankly, I'm out here just trying to figure out what that means to all of us. How can we incorporate more of this Hygge type of way of like dealing with the winter, you know? So one of the things that I did last year is twinkle lights. I just want twinkle lights everywhere. I want the room filled with twinkle lights. I want warm, cozy, low lighting. I want hot beverages within reach at all times. I want hot teas. I want coffees. I want hot chocolates. And part of the research that I've done is that the Hygge practice is very indulgent. So it's like if you want a snack cake, if you want a muffin, if you want a cinnamon bun, you just get it. You don't worry about how are we looking, are we healthy, blah 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 blah. You know, in Denmark is the happiest country. Let me do a Google search. Denmark, happiest country in the world, is it? Yep. Denmark consistently ranks as one of the world's happiest country, often number 2 behind Finland. So between Finland and Denmark, they are cold as hell, and yet they somehow find ways to be happy. You know what it is? It's because they don't care. They're not worried about eating healthy. They're not worried about, it's not like weird to them to like go outside and be in nature, even when it's cold out and stuff. So they also focus on that community, that togetherness, which is all stuff we've talked about on this podcast. So that's what we're trying to do. This is the season. It's the holidays. Naturally, we are all running around trying to get our Christmas shopping done. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to just break out of the fact that like, what is Christmas all about? Like, what are the holidays all about? You know, I mean, I think capitalism really is constantly pulling us towards like buying the best gift for somebody, or like making sure that everybody has something under the tree, and making sure that we're all like, you know, just spending a certain amount of money to make sure that our loved ones feel loved. And frankly, like, it's hard out here. It's I'm not making a ton of money. I know I just said I went to Costa Rica, but that was with a lot of help. I'm very fortunate that I had a friend down there, so I was able to stay with her and whatnot. But it's definitely a trip that I wouldn't have been able to do on my own. Let's just say that. And it's hard out here. And also, like, let's just say I do have all the money to like buy all the things that I want to get for everybody. At the end of the day, then I leave broke, and then I'm wondering, did I really get the most out of that experience? Like, did we make the most of the holidays? Like, do we all feel fulfilled, or do we just feel like we have more things that we have to figure out where to put? So this year, I'm trying to make a greater focus on spending quality time with the people that I love and care about. I just got back home from my mom's, and we had a nice time. I told her about my trip, and we listened to music together, and we shared food together, and I shared her some treats and snacks and things that I got. So, things like that. And it was a nice escape from remembering the harsh cold that I was about to walk back out into before getting into my car. So there's one. Usually around this year, I try to make it out to go see my girlfriends, the ones that we've grown up with, that including Ashley, and then our other two girls, Rajan and Bia. Shout out. Friends of the pod as well. And, of course, my boyfriend and his family. I try to make time with him to every year drive around and look at Christmas lights. We usually get some hot chocolates to go. And then we drive around and we just look at all the lights and listen to old Christmas music. And that is sometimes some of my favorite ways that we celebrate this time of year. But winter doesn't quite end after the holidays, right? Like, those are the warm, fuzzy times and everything. But we still got January. We still got February. We still got March sometimes. And even a little bit into April. So, we're just trying to mentally prepare for all that. So twinkle lights, spending time with family, having a hot beverage. Another thing that I really want to try to push myself to do this winter is spend some intentional time just like looking up at the sky. There's some beautiful crystal clear skies during the winter time, like where it just seems like the sky is as black as can be, like, and all the stars just look like crystal diamonds, just glistening against this jet black background. And I remember when I was a kid, my parents woke us up, me and my younger brother woke us up at 4 a.m. to watch a meteor shower. And it was like one of the best meteor showers. They say, at least, it was like one of the most profound meteor showers of maybe our lifetime. I don't know. But they kind of say that about every meteor shower. But my parents made us hot chocolate. And we sat outside in the frigid cold and just watched. And it didn't matter how cold it was. We just sat there wrapped up and watched. And I can just remember, like, the sky just filled with these, like, just streak after streak after streak after streak. And it was just incredible. It's one of my favorite memories because my parents could have said, oh, it's too cold for them, or we don't want to wake up, we have work in the morning. There's a million reasons why my parents could have just said, oh, it's not worth it. But instead, they woke us up, and we all sat out there and watched. And it's something that I'll never forget. And so now that I'm older, the things that I want to remember now is, like, it's worth it to step outside and be a bit uncomfortable, to enjoy something so magnificent as the night sky, So we have a meteor shower coming up. It's actually due in a couple days here. The Geminid meteor shower peaks around December 13th through the 14th, and it's supposed to be this year's best, offering up to 120 colorful meteors per hour in dark skies. It's originating from the constellation Gemini, and it's supposed to be caused by debris from an asteroid 3200 Phaethon. Who knows? What does that even mean? But it says that if you are to look in the east after 10 p.m., somewhere obviously outside away from city lights, you should be able to see it. So my goal is to really set aside the time and actually enjoy it. Actually sit out there in the cold and watch some meteors. What else? What else can we do to sort of celebrate and settle into this winter weather and this winter season without fully falling into seasonal affective disorder, the seasonal depression, or just general crabbiness because of the cold? I want to watch more movies. That's another thing I'd like to do. I want to watch more movies. I used to love watching movies all throughout my childhood. It was kind of just like one of the only things that we could do. And then going to the theater just like really felt like an event, you know? So I really would love to knock out some movies. So if you all have any movie recommendations, hit me up. Look, I'll watch a Christmas movie. I'll watch a Christmas movie. Let me just put it that way. Maybe two. I'm just not like a sit around and watch a Hallmark one. That's my dad. My dad would love to watch my dad loves to watch a Hallmark movie, a Hallmark Christmas movie. He wants to see every single small town girl who went to the city, who came back to her hometown, who's, you know, somebody owns a Christmas tree farm or whatever, the son of a billionaire. I don't know. He loves it. Me, it's Halloween part 2 in the winter for me. It's spooky season part 2. I remember my first time watching The Shining was like right after Christmas. And to be fair, I think it's pretty on brand. I think it's a perfect winter movie. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so I'm into the spooky. I'm into the, I like a psychological thriller. I just watched the movie Heretic on the plane home. Loved it. Very interesting. So if you haven't seen it, definitely take a look. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's kind of religious. I mean, it's very religious based, very like thought-provoking and challenging to maybe some religious thoughts and everything, but I thought it was really good. So just to kind of give you all some ideas of like where I'm at, what I like. I also loved the movie Hush. If y'all haven't seen it, it's on Netflix, I believe. Maybe they've taken it off, but it's about a woman who's deaf who has a home invasion. So that's really interesting. I thought that was a really cool concept. I've been listening to a ton of podcasts as well, of course. I recently have really done a deep dive on the podcast Too Scared Didn't Watch. It's like a way for me to watch movies while I'm driving to work, because I can like see it in my mind while they're describing and doing like the full recap. Let's see, what else? I don't know what it is. I guess like my brain's just still in that mode of just like I want to see a deep, a dark, something with like deeper meaning, you know. So anyways, that's just what I'm into. Maybe a good superhero movie. I used to love the Spider-Man movies. I'll be honest, I kind of quit when this whole Avengers and Thor and what's the other one? Iron Man and Hulk and all these, we had to have 15 of each movie to get their backstories and their past, their present, their future, like their spin-offs. Their girlfriends had spin-offs, you know, and I was just like, I can't. So yeah, if y'all have an idea, has anybody seen that movie? It's like a newer Thunderbolts. Yeah, Thunderbolts movie. What's her name? Florence Pugh. How could I forget? Stunning, fantastic actress. If anybody's seen Thunderbolts, I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about that one? Can I watch it on my own? Do I have to watch all of the other movies before watching that? Looks like it got 88 on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's pretty cool. What else can we do? I'm about skincare, I think. Let's do some skincare this winter. I bought some collagen masks. Just trying to get some extra hydration. Also trying to take care of my hair a bit better. So a little bit of self-care. Maybe incorporating some more intentional movement like yoga. I don't want to, look, as somebody who's been in health and wellness and personally, but then also professionally, I did go and get my certification for personal training. I've been studying nutrition independently for the better part of 5 years. And frankly, like, I'm tired of killing myself. I'm tired of, solid core is awesome. Look, solid core has gotten me some results that I never knew I could result in. However, like, solid core makes you like really, really think about some things in life. So, let me just say, there's the small twitch muscles that it breaks down in you, which really helps with balance and stability and all that. So they can kind of unlock some. They can unlock some deep emotional histories in your body, because we all know the body keeps the score. If you haven't read that book, I haven't read it, I'll be honest, I didn't read it, but I know it though. That's the thing, it's like you just know it. I listened to tons of podcasts about it. My little cheat sheet. But yeah, those that trauma like lives in your body, like anything in life. Like, and I don't mean to be all like, oh, just because like you say the word trauma means like it can mean so much, but it's just like anything that's like deep repressed, like you can't be in your 30s, you can't just be like this far in life and not have something that at some point you've repressed, right? So sometimes, after solid core, it's like you just like your body's like breaking down. It's like your muscles are being tenderized, right? And like all that stuff that was like keeping that muscles tight have been released. Same thing with like getting a massage, which maybe this winter we get a massage. Maybe this year we pay a little extra for the essential oil aroma, and we have a little lavender in the air, and we tell the masseuse, not so hard. Sometimes those masseuses will be like really getting in there, And you know what? Maybe not this time. Maybe just a little softer. So, indulgence. A little indulgence. Trying to also focus on creating or just like tending to our personal relationships a little bit better. Last winter, I spent so much time like just like trying to run all over creation, trying to make everybody happy, working my butt off, all this stuff. But maybe it doesn't have to be like that. Maybe it can be a little easier. Maybe I can show love and connect with my friends and family in ways that are a little bit easier on both of us. Because, we're all kind of strung out all over the place, We're spread out, not strung out. It sounds like we got bigger issues, huh? I guess what I'm saying is this winter, let's not fall victim to the same old stuff. Let's try to be more intentional with how can we connect with ourselves, connect with others, and connect with nature a little bit. The Norwegians, they love nature. When I say the Norwegians, the Nordics, the Danish, all of the people, like those Nordic countries, they are all about it. They love nature. Oh, here's one. You know who I've been watching that really makes me feel better during times when I'm like, dang, winter is hard. There's a creator on YouTube. Her name is Cecilia Blumdahl. And if you all haven't checked her out, you absolutely should check out her page, check out her videos. She is based off of, she's living in Svalbard, which is an island close to the North Pole. And Svalbard is one of the few places in the world that experiences not only 100 days of daylight, but also 100 days of night. So she is now currently in her 100 days of night. She's lived in Svalbard for 10 years, and she says every year, she says it's my favorite time of the year is 100 days of night, the long night. That's what they call it. Is it? Is that what she calls it, or is that just what Game of Thrones calls it? I think it's what Game of Thrones calls it. But it's a long night. And, no, what is it called? See, this is what happens when I don't have Ashley around. Who's gonna keep me straight? Oh, my Lord, I'd just be making stuff up. All right, I'm checking her out. Polar night. Okay, so it's called Polar Night. Jeez Louise. Winter is coming. Yeah, so Polar Night. I have to do my own little edits too because Ashley is my tech girl. She's like the one that puts in all of the sound bites and everything that we would normally have. So this is going to be a little bit more of a bare bones episode, but whatever. You're here for more than just all the flashy theatrics and sound effects and all that. Yeah, so Cecilia Blumdahl. So I love watching her videos because it gives me an optimistic perspective because, you know, it's very easy to just like succumb to what everybody else is saying about this time of year. Everybody's like, oh, it's freezing. Oh, it's so cold and dark. Oh, the weather sucks. Oh, I don't want to go anywhere. Oh, complain. And with Cecilia, she's just clicking her heels. I mean, she couldn't be happier. She's loving it. So they do like gingerbread house competitions with her friends. I know that she's done some like spa days and things like that, you know, so I would love to hear what you all think will help you all pass this hard winter. You know, what are some ways that you can pamper yourself or make yourself feel like you're indulging a little bit extra in the winter time to help this harder time of the year feel a little bit lighter? Are we changing the mood of the home? Are we redecorating a little bit? Are we breaking out the twinkle lights, the LEDs? Are we baking? Are we doing sweet treats? Are we spending more time with family? Are we going to spend some time outside? Are we going to venture to like maybe do a little outdoor walking? Or is that a little bit too much? Where are you at? Are you in a colder climate? I want to hear from the people who are really out there. Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Northern California, the Midwest. How are you all celebrating winter? Or how are we combating winter? How are we surviving winter in a way that's a little less harsh than what we normally feel? I think I'm going to be looking at winter through the eyes of a Taurus. It's the best way that I can. How can we can't just name winter's zodiac sign. That's not fair to winter. But what I can say is that I'm gonna step into a more Taurisian perspective. And a Taurus would love to just lay around and veg out and just indulge. And that's what I think I'm going to do. So, what zodiac sign is Hygge? And I'm going to say Taurus. Well, good luck everybody out there. Would love to hear from you in the comments. Reach out. This is Chaos Theory Cosmic Chisme on Instagram. email us at chaostheorycosmiccheeseme@gmail.com. Like and subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Write a comment. Let us know how are we doing and how are we going to get through this winter. But until then, keep gossiping.